Hello, Will Thunder Talks here again with another video. Today I'm going to talk about is Mounjaro a shortcut? No, I don't think it is, and I want to talk about why. So I'm going to put a question to you, viewer, person who's watching first of all. If you have asthma, would you judge somebody for needing an inhaler? No, I'd hope not. So let's take that logic, let's extrapolate it out, right? If that person lives in an environment with really poor air quality that they cannot control, they financially don't have the option to move out of that place, but there's tons of air pollution that's affected their lungs and its ability to develop healthily, so they get asthma. Is that their fault for needing an inhaler? No. So let's back this up. Let's move that logic into obesity. If you are in an environment where you cannot afford healthy food, you're not in the social class to understand what healthy food is, you have not been given the skills, you have not been given the patience, the understanding, a lot of your social needs have not been met. Maybe you don't even have parents. Maybe you're a foster kid. Maybe maybe you just had a caregiver that's an alcoholic. Maybe you've had to grow up yourself, right? How the heck are you gonna know what is good for you, right? You might be of a certain persuasion where you had to grow up and you did grow up pretty well yourself, right? And you figured this stuff out yourself, but a lot of people don't, man, because they don't have the opportunities to. They don't have the context to. So I feel passionate about this because I grew up in a working class environment where a treat on Friday be a pie and chips, gravy. I worked in a fish and chip shop when I was a teenager, and that fish and chip shop was my local fish and chip shop. Everyone loved it. And you go in and you get your fish and chips, you get your pie and chips, steak and kidney pie. Lovely. You know? Oh, ooh, sweet treat. A lovely treat on a Friday night, right? That was my cultural context. I didn't know there was trans fats in the freaking chips. I didn't even know what trans fats were. I was a teenager, right? I didn't know what saturated fats were. I don't know what polymonosaturated fats were. I don't know what any of this stuff was, man. I just knew that I ate it and it tasted good. That's all that mattered to me because I was young and I thought I could live forever, right? So when you're in that context, and then you know things get hard, you've got no money, you can't afford meals. You know, when I was at university, because I come from a poor family, I didn't get any financial help. I remember my first term at university, I had to live on £100. Was it £100 or £200 for 3 months? 3 months for food, right? Because the loan was delayed. Thankfully, I'd worked a bit over the summer, but I only had that much money, right? So what do? Well, I had to skip meals. I had to get stuff that was low cost and live off that, man, for months and months and months. And that was really scary for me, okay? I lived off of pasta and mixed vegetables, and I think that was it. Tinned sauces of pasta. Just the cheapest stuff I could get, like really nasty. I remember one time I was at a butcher's and they were throwing out some pig hearts and they were like 50p for this big lump and chunk of pig heart. And I was like, whoa, man, I never get meat. Meat's well expensive for my £100 for a few months budget. So I'm going to get this. And I'm like a big dude, right? I'm like 6'2", I'm 188 centimeters tall. I'm a hungry boy. So I get this pig heart. I don't know how to cook pig heart. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm a stupid little boy. I'm like stewing it, I guess. I left it. I tried to cook it in a wok for like 5 hours. Trying to stew it. Tough as hell, but I ate the whole damn thing. When you come from a place of scarcity, when there's an opportunity to eat, when you've gone months with skipping meals, with not eating, teaches you an important lesson, that scarcity is a real possibility. You're going to go without meals sometimes. I didn't tell anyone because it was really shameful for me, even to be at like university and not be able to eat, right? And my point, to come back to Mounjaro, is, when I was going through those experiences, I learned I need to eat now because I'm not sure if there's going to be a meal there later. People might relate to this, there are a lot of people in my country, maybe in your country now, wherever you are, if you're in India, if you're in America, if you're in Italy, if you're in Uzbekistan, if you're in North Korea, if you're in Japan, you might know what it's like to have to forego meals, whether it's for your kids, whether it's for yourself, whether you just don't have the resources, man. So when you have the opportunity to eat a lot of calories, you're going to take it. You're not going to distinguish. You're not going to go, oh, well, I've got to eat my vegetables and I've got to eat it. No, I might not. I don't know if I'm going to have enough money. I don't know if I'm going to have enough money. Because I was a poor uni student and I got loans in, and then I was really, really, really frugal with the money because I was worried oh man, initially I went out clubbing a bit, a little bit, but then I just stopped doing that because couldn't afford it. And I was bear in mind, guys, I was at the cheapest university in the country at the time. I went to Aberystwyth, and it's really cheap there, especially when I went there, dude, in 2013, 2012, back in the day. Oh my God, that was 10 years ago. I'm getting old. But it was really cheap, man. There were 50p shots, a vodka, £1 pint nights. If I wanted to get buggered, I could on a tenner, right? So I ain't the centre of London here, mate. I'm not in the centre of London, so I can get a few drinks in, no problem, right? But not having enough money to do that at the start, was scary. And I think when I come to Mounjaro, because of what I've been through, I learned to not give up the food. I think that's part of where my food hunger comes from, and why I have really strong food noise, right? So when I think about treating that, Mounjaro treats that, dude. Mounjaro undoes that in my head. Because the GLP and the GIP says, yeah, man, you don't have to stock the calories, bro. You're fine. So for me, that's almost immeasurably valuable here. And I guess that's what really pisses me off when people are like, oh, it's just a shortcut. No, this is me addressing my own chronic health problems through environmental problems, through the stresses I've gone through trauma I've gone through, right? It's really hard to manage that emotionally, physically, when you don't got enough, man. So you go for the cheap things. Guess what the cheap things are? Trash food, garbage food. You go to a supermarket anywhere in the world, probably. I've been into a lot of supermarkets. In a few countries, certainly in the UK, 100% in the UK, and I imagine in the US, there's just trash everywhere. It's like chips or crisps in the UK, fried foods. 75% of the whole supermarket is just rubbish. You wouldn't want to put in your body if you understood what it's doing to you, and you felt like you wanted to make that change. Right? Because we can know things. Knowing things is great, but emotionally processing them and accepting the change is a whole other process. More information does not equal behavior change. If that was true, my guys, climate change wouldn't be a problem, because we all know it's bad, but it's still being made worse. But this is why Mounjaro is so important, because it reduces inflammation, it changes the emotional signals in our brain, it reduces the desire for food on a fundamental level. So, when you've been struggling forever, when you've gone through a lot of things, when you've been in a poor environment, and I'm not gonna lie, right now I live a lower middle class life. I've upward trended in terms of economic opportunity, skills, the kind of life I lead. I've been on an upward trend. I'm immeasurably lucky for like just being a white man. That's a huge W. But I know what it's like to go without, and I know what it's like to be 400 plus pounds, man. I know what comes with that. So whenever I see a chunky friend and the community, I feel sad because I feel my own pain, my own sadness when I see that, because I knew I wasn't happy when I was like that. And I knew everyone felt a degree of disgust, like just around me. They were like, you're disgusting for existing. We don't like that. Stop being fat. I receive comments like that all the time. And I didn't want to be fat, but I was fat because I didn't get to emotionally process why I was fat and what happened to me previously, and the socioeconomic reality of what I faced, and the reality of a lot of the trauma I went through that informed the need to comfort eat to manage my emotions, which made me really fat, made me feel worse, and then made me comfort eat more. And our food supply is cooked, as the kids would say. Cooked too much. The ultra processed foods, they make you hungrier. It just makes me so mad when we judge people that are just, if you get, my guys, if you've ever gardened, or you've ever grown a plant, okay, and you put the plant outside and you don't water it and you don't put any nutrients in the soil, it doesn't grow. Okay, you put it in sand, you don't put it in compost, and you don't make sure the soil's the right pH or whatever, you do all the right things to give it the right environment, it won't grow well. It's the same with people. If we're taught in an environment, have a chip butty, and that's a reward, no wonder if people are stressed and they want to feel good, and chip butty feels good because it's just carb city, they're going to eat that and get fat. No wonder. So, what do you expect, guys? When you market food products and you don't give people food they need to feel full and healthy, you're going to get fat people. And I'm one of them, man. I'm still overweight. I just today, W for me, little W for me at the end here, just got into the obese category 1, 34.9 BMI. Isn't that awesome? Not been that light for a very long time. I'll tell you that now. But no, Mounjaro is not a shortcut. Mounjaro is undoing the systemic damage that has been done to all of us by having food products pushed on us our whole lives. And now they're adapting and pushing different food products to override the effectiveness of the medication. And I, for one, think that's messed up. Because don't we just want to be healthier and happier and more connected to people and be able to be more present and care about our fellow people and not worry about the essentials and the basics? I think we all want that. But some of us need medication for that. I do. I'm going to take it forever. I'll probably take it forever. I feel no shame about that. So that's where I'm going to leave that today. My name's Will. You've been wonderful and I've been Will. Take care of yourself and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.